Is this thing? Can you guys hear me okay?
I didn't know you.
All right. Well, what a great gathering of people. You guys have tremendous energy. You guys have come all over the country. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you for coming out and for your love of your children and for your activism, coming all the way to Washington, D.C. to talk about these important issues. I know you've traveled from all over the place, all over the country, and there are great activists here from all across the political spectrum. Moms and dads who know that the family court system is failing our children who share a common heart and a common goal to affect real change in family court. I'm not aligned with any group. I'm not a politician. I'm a mother. I have 3 beautiful children who are still not with me, even though a jury decided 5 months ago that they should be returned to my home. My case and my life are illustrations of all that can go wrong in court, in family court. I'm this mom. I was in a horrible relationship. It got to a point almost 4 years ago when it was so bad that I realized that staying in the relationship was worse for my kids than leaving it. And so I filed for divorce. I filed in the gentlest, most collaborative way I knew to file for divorce. And my ex-husband, Alex Jones, threatened me. He wrote me a text and he told me, "You'll never imagine what my lawyers will do to you in court." He was right. I never could have imagined the injustice that prevails in family court, the corruption in our family court, the money that changes hands, and the way that children are treated like commodities by corrupt experts who attach themselves to family law cases.
Yep.
I couldn't have imagined that my children, who had only had me truly involved as an available parent, would be ripped from my home. I couldn't imagine the impact on them. I couldn't imagine not being able to trust the so-called experts who made a mockery of the mental health process and turned the family court system that was supposed to oversee my children and help them into a parasitic feeding ground. I couldn't imagine how much it would cost me emotionally and financially. The false allegations, the character assassination, the impact on my social life, the impact on my ability to hold a job, the violation of my free speech rights as an American citizen. I couldn't imagine actually winning a jury verdict and not getting my children back. So that's the gist of my story. I know you all have yours, and that's why you're here today. You've traveled from all across the country because something happened to you that should not have happened when you went to seek justice. You have come this far. Yes, amen. And you have come this far because that's what we do. We're parents. We jump in front of a tiger for our kids. We have just walked for 2 miles and we are willing to walk 1 million more. Yes, we are. Our collective journey has lasted many lifetimes. In many cases, we miss some or all of our children's lives. I have now missed an additional 5 months after a jury deliberated and decided our children needed to live with me. How about you? How much time have you lost? 20 years. How much of your dignity have you lost?
All of it.
How many rights have they violated?
How much of your freedom have you lost?
None of it, because they can't take it from
They
us.
can't take it, but they act like they can. How much of your child's innocence have they lost?
Too much.
That's right. The answer is
Goddamn much.
too much.
Yeah.
This is, and that's why we're here. We're not here to commiserate. We're here to take action.
Yes.
We get the action we're looking for.
So do I. Amen to that. We're here to change this tragic and broken system. This is the beginning of something. The system may be broken, but we're not going to let it break our families anymore. I have this good friend. Her name is Rachel. She's a single mom. She worked for years to be a good mom and to take in care and provide for her family. She has a beautiful 3-year-old daughter who was taken from her. I sat down yesterday with Rachel and we talked. We had the same judge. And this judge, if you can believe it, I'm sure you all can, actually falsified documents and jailed Rachel without cause, without due process. This is the height of absurdity, right? This is crazy, right? Speaking of crazy, do you guys know who my ex-husband is?
Yes.
Alex Jones, that's right. He is a man with a national platform. He is a man with our president's ear. He is a man who uses his platform to say that little children didn't die in a mass shooting in Sandy Hook, that they were victims of a government hoax. These are children, dead children. This is the father. He is a man who's threatened politicians and celebrities with physical violence on his show. He is a man who called the children victims of the Manchester bombings liberal trendies and made fun of them. And I'm the one who's crazy. It seems funny, it seems strange, but I know that there are many of you out there who have experienced what I have. I know you understand that corrupt mental health so-called experts who act with obvious bias and gross negligence are repeatedly used by the same attorneys over and over in family court.
Yep.
Let's face it, many of us have been framed with trumped-up accusations and have lost time or even full custody of our children under false pretenses. I have spent, myself, over 800 hours in forced court-ordered therapy. And my ex-husband, who has had to reverse himself on making allegations against businesses and all kinds of things, has spent less than 10 hours. The devil is in details, and we all share our sad stories. I'll share mine with you anytime if you ask me about it, and I want to hear yours. But here are 3 points that will disgust you. I have lost irreplaceable time with my children. Drug dealers and prostitutes have had more time with their children than I have.
Yeah.
5 months ago, a jury decided that I should be primary parent to our children. And you probably heard about this because my case was all over the news. And everybody was so excited and would run up to me and say, "Congratulations, your kids are home." And I didn't know what to say to them because 5 months later, my kids are not home with me according to the verdict. And every time someone comes up and says that to me, my heart falls. The judge in my case, Judge Erlinda Naranjo, has acted outside the law and outside of her authority to institute post-verdict temporary orders and stipulations that violate my due process rights and stifle my free speech.
Yep.
The judge has acted with bias to keep my family in court. She has allowed, and bear with me here, and encouraged my ex-husband to continue to litigate post-verdict. She has issued orders without request, which is unlawful, and has revised her own rulings to benefit my ex-husband. And I'm here no matter what. I'm here because of what happened to my children. I'm grateful and inspired by all of you who are doing this alongside me. This is our fight, and this will be our victory. Not mine, not yours, but our collective victory.
Yes.
So I'm not a public figure. I'm not a celebrity. I'm a mother. No matter what your gender, no matter what your group affiliation, we can all recognize a broken system when we see one.
Yes.
We are talking about the law of the land.
Right.
It has been sullied. It has not served us justice.
No.
We all fight for justice, and I don't have all the answers. None of us do. We're here to exercise our free speech, to yell out, to discuss, to debate, and find solutions.
Yes.
I myself today, after this, and I'm going to have to peel off to do it, I'm going to go to the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, with hard evidence on the true court corruption and racketeering that has happened in my case by the same players who are racketeers in my city.
Yes.
And local media won't cover this, and I'm hoping the national media will.
What city is that?
That is Austin, Texas, Travis County Court. I believe that the outrageous allegations of mental illness should be brought before the criminal court if they're to come up, where a person is presumed innocent and is allowed to go over their own history with their children openly and honestly. The court is supposed to be our last line of defense, So if they won't be, we're going to have to stand up until they will be. So let's unite for justice. Stop family court corruption.
Yes.
Thank you all for your stories and your time, for loving your children, and for being here from all across the country to address this pertinent issue. Stop family court corruption.
Yes.
Stop family court corruption.